Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Royal Pain by Maryjanice Davidson, narrated by Piper Goodeve. We are born with luck, which is to say, with gold in our mouth, as new and smooth as a grape, as pure as a pond in Alaska, as good as the stem of a green bean. We are born, and that ought to be enough. Anne Sexton, The Evil Seekers. Treason and murder ever kept together. William Shakespeare, Henry V. A Sheldon can do your income taxes. If you need a root canal, Sheldon's your man. But humpin' and pumpin' is not Sheldon's strong suit. It's the name. Do it to me, Sheldon. You're an animal, Sheldon. Ride me, big Sheldon. Doesn't work. Harry, When Harry Met Sally. Prologue. The Sitka Palace, 2:32 a.m. "Nicky, get down!" Alexandria's father roared, and her little brother dropped like a rock and rolled away. There was no mistaking the command in that yell. She nearly fell to the carpet herself. There was a sound. Some odd sound she should have recognized but did not, and suddenly her father was staring at the two small, feathered darts sticking out of his chest. He stared. "What story tonight, Alex?" They all stared. "No, hun, that one gives you nightmares." It was all happening so fast. "There's nothing to be afraid of." And then her father. "We're going to be all right now." Her father. "There's no such thing as monsters." Slowly folded to the floor. She heard another sound, the flat, smacking sound of metal hitting flesh. But she was too busy looking around for... There. "Not so fast without your pea shooter, eh?" She heard someone, Kurt, David, slur. You have to come with me, Prince Nicholas," the monster said. He was reaching for her little brother, actually daring to reach for her brother after the gross assault upon her father. "Your place is with us. Get the hell out of here, you traitorous piece of shit," her older brother David ordered. Alexandria agreed wholeheartedly. To a point. "If you leave now, our security team might not blow your head off." "Stay a while. Just a minute longer. I'll give you something to remember the Baranovs by, you prick." "Us, sir?" her little brother Nicholas asked. As always, in response to stress, he was overly polite. She slipped out of one of her shoes. There was more talking, but it was background noise. It was how the ocean sounded to a starfish, huge and irrelevant. "My father is the true king," Nicholas said. And that she did hear. Nicholas was a child, a brave and honorable one, but too young to know it was useless to talk sense to an extremist. "Devon," her sister-in-law Christina shouted, and Alexandria heard that too, like the crack of a whip, again and again. "Devon, Devon, Devon. You'll never get out of here." Never. She caught Nicholas's gaze, saw him glance at the gun, Kurt's gun, on the floor. She shook her head, but he ignored her and bent for it. Thank God, Devon was distracted by Princess Christina. "You fucked up. It's done." "Yes, it's done." "You shot my daddy," Nicholas said. And the rest of them noticed what she had just seen. He had the gun. It was steady in his small hands, the butt snugly against his left palm, right index finger on the far end of the trigger guard. "Yes, you shot my daddy. You shot my king and my sovereign, and you hurt my friend." "Dad." "So I'm thinking it's only fair if I shoot you." "Don't worry, Nicky. You won't have to. I'm going to fix him. I'm going to fix everything." "You're high." The last thing Devon said. Fitting that it should be proper use of a title. Part of one, anyway. Her hands had closed over the banquet chair. Wood, not metal, but she would make do. Her grip was firm, not sweaty. The night sweats would come later, and stay forever. She levered the chair up off the ground. It went easy, lighter than feathers. She swung the chair sidearm. "Honey, not like that. You're throwing like a girl. Yeah, don't go all PC on me. Do it like this." Putting every ounce of her 150 behind it. The monster did not fall. He slammed against the wall. It wasn't what she was expecting at all. It was nothing like TV. Her hands and arms absorbed most of the shock of the blow, and it would be days before she could raise her wrists above her shoulder. The chair, as she had calculated, did not shatter. It was good wood. It held. But force had to go somewhere. She had been counting on it. And from the blood coming out the monster's ears, the force had gone exactly where she intended. "There," she said, her arms still vibrating. "That's—" Then he got up. The monster actually got up off the floor, blood dripping down his sideburns, moving steadily, not noticing he was mortally wounded. In her head, Alex screamed and screamed. Devon brushed cake from his uniform and took the gun from Nicholas's nerveless fingers. Shot her brother David. This is wrong. Shot her other brother Nicky. Shot her sister-in-law Christina. Took the chair away. It's not like this. Swung. It didn't happen like this. And the last thing she saw was the chair descending. The last thing she knew was that she had failed. Everyone was dead, and she had failed. Chapter 1. The Sitka Palace, 2:42 a.m. She didn't scream. She never screamed. She was cringing in her bed, bracing herself for the blow, and it took a minute or so to remember it was just the old nightmare. She had not failed. Everyone was alive. She had not failed. She had not failed. Princess Alexandria, third in line to the Alaskan throne, pressed a hand to her mouth, hurried to the bathroom, and threw up. Alexandria stole down the hall, took a left, nodded to an insomniac footman, and walked quietly into the nursery. But not so quietly that her sister-in-law Christina didn't hear. The nursery was right next to David and Christina's bedroom, and after years of being on her own and looking over her shoulder, Christina slept about as deeply as a cat with ADD. There was no night nurse. There was barely a day nurse. Christina had the charming idea that she should raise her own daughter, which was adorable, if common. Knowing she had permission, Alex scooped up the sweetly sleeping baby and cuddled her against her shoulder. Dara stirred but did not awaken, and Alex simply stood over the crib, holding the baby and taking comfort in her warmth, her sweet milky smell, the fineness of her baby hair, the softness of her skin. "Another one?" Christina whispered. She didn't whisper so as not to wake Dara. The baby didn't sleep. She hibernated. But Christina didn't want to wake her husband, who had a grueling day of ribbon cutting and Chardonnay drinking and penguin counting ahead of him. What is this? The third time this week? And it's only Tuesday. Alex shrugged. She adored Christina, but did not discuss her dreams with her. With anyone. Well, almost anyone. "Alex, for God's sake, you've got to get some sleep. When was the last time you got a full 8 hours? Unbroken." Another shrug. Alex nuzzled the top of Dara's head. The baby shifted and snored on. "Why aren't you taking the stuff Dr. Pohl prescribed? Don't shrug again or I'll pull all your long, beautiful hair out." She snorted. "You don't scare me. You are getting slow in your old age." And you know why. Well, maybe I haven't bounced back from the baby as fast as I... It's kind of late for jokes. It's kind of late for anything. And here you've got a perfectly good prescription for sleeping pills in your... Oh, God, you're just like your brother. He wouldn't take a Tylenol for an amputation. You guys... What? Come on. I get the whole we're a rugged band of royals who've carved a country out of the harsh wilderness bit, but would it kill you to pop an Ambien? I don't have trouble getting to sleep, she pointed out, just staying asleep. And I'm sorry I woke you. Now it was Christina's turn to shrug. It's no big deal. I won't have trouble getting back to sleep, she added, raising her eyebrows. She softened a bit when Alex made no reply. Well, I normally would, too, tomorrow being the big day and all, but I didn't get a nap today, and never mind, it's boring. In fact, never mind about all that. Listen, why don't you take her back to bed with you? That works sometimes. Alex grinned a little. You're just trying to sleep in. Well, it's a handy bonus, I must admit. Besides, the thing doesn't even start until, what, noon? 1, she corrected. Sounds like someone hasn't read her program. Great, 1, even better. Hey, you just have to change her and feed her and entertain her until I wake up. Say 11-ish? 9. Done. Christina bent forward and planted a soft kiss on the baby's head. Luck getting some Z's. Don't squish the baby. Offended, she said, I would never. See, you'd have a better sense of humor if you were getting a couple more hours a night. Hush up. I'm just saying, Chris said, backing away. Alex took Dara back to her room, carefully laid the baby on the left side of the bed. The bed had been pushed against the wall months ago for that express purpose. Tossed all the pillows on the floor just in case, and pulled the blanket up to the middle of the baby's back. Dara snored on, oblivious. 5 minutes later, Alex was doing the same. Chapter 2. It was like any other family event, except with royals. The Baranovs, who had read their schedules, were assembled in one of the many side corridors, waiting. I can't believe, Princess Catherine, fourth in line to the Alaskan throne, whispered, there's hardly anybody here but the family. Prince David, first in line to the throne, grinned. He looked more relaxed than anybody could ever recall. The general consensus was that marriage and fatherhood agreed with him immensely. He was wearing a dark gray suit with a royal blue shirt and a gray tie dotted with tiny rock hopper penguins. His shoes, thanks to a tireless staff, were shined to a high gloss. David, thanks to a royal upbringing, didn't notice. Hey, Chris insisted. No press, no big deal, no fuss, no, you know. I know what she insisted on, his sister replied. Catherine was 6 months away from ridding herself of the hated braces, and was the promise of truly breathtaking beauty, with the classical Baranov coloring, sinfully dark hair, enormous crystal blue eyes. Like I said, I just can't believe she pulled it off. Dad's fond of her. Tell me, it's like having the sister I never wanted, she added with a mock sigh. They were standing in the left foyer of the palace chapel, where Prince Nicholas, sixth in line to the throne, quickly joined them. Are we ready? Is everybody here? Well, David said, the baby's not here, and Chris isn't here, and the Alexes aren't here, and Dad. Cool your jets, everybody, the king said, stepping in through a side door, his major domo, Edmund, right on his heels. I said I'd be here, didn't I? Right? Right. So, what the hell's the holdup? Can we get this over with, please? Now? Please? How did you get him into that suit? David asked, losing his usual smooth manners and gaping at his father. A crowbar, Edmund replied smoothly. Are we ready to begin? Well, the godparents aren't here. Ah. Edmund pretended to consult his program, when everyone in the room, possibly the palace, knew he'd been the one to write it. Prince Alexander and Princess Alexandria, and where is Her Highness, Princess Dara? A shrill whistle burst through the air, and they all looked through the foyer door, across the front of the chapel, and into the opposite door, where Christina was holding the baby and waving madly. She came in through the wrong door, Edmund sighed. She probably didn't read she probably didn't pay attention to. Princess Catherine blushed to her eyebrows, then added, doesn't she look gorgeous? Purple is definitely her color. Kid looks like an eggplant with arms, the king muttered, sticking a finger under his collar and giving it the 10th wrench of the morning. When David swung around, eyebrows raised, he hastily added, a good-looking eggplant. Jesus, can we please get the fucking show on the road? I could be in a fishing boat right this minute. Don't say fucking in church, Dad, Nicholas corrected, running a hand through his cap of blonde curls. He was the only child of the king who looked nothing like his father. It had caused some trouble in the past. The late queen had been known to dally with men, not her husband. We're just waiting on the Alexes. You'll be on a boat by 3. Supper time, probably, at the latest. The king wriggled his suit coat. I hate these things. We all do, Dad. Shush, Your Highness. Your Majesty, stop fidgeting, or I shall defect instantly to America. Ha! That's a bluff I'll damn well call. Shh, Dad. Don't shush me, you little creep. You're not too big to spank. I'm 2 inches taller than you are, Dad, Prince David explained patiently. Ah, tensions are running high, Princess Alexandria said, entering the foyer. She was wearing a shin-length, long-sleeved blue silk dress, the exact color of her eyes. As it was a casual affair, no one was wearing their crowns or any royal insignia. My timing is perfect. Has Edmund threatened to move to the States yet? Ah, shut up, the king told her. Alex peeked into the chapel, spotting several familiar faces, mostly staff and a few friends of the family. For the Baranovs, a typical low-key affair. Christina had insisted, and the king had agreed. Dara had the entire rest of her life to be in the spotlight. Today was for family and friends. Alex waved to Christina, who wiggled Dara's hand back, making it look like the baby was waving. Ugh, new parents were so weird. She came in the wrong door, she muttered to Edmund. Jenny couldn't get her to pay much attention to the program, Edmund muttered back. Your Highness, if I may make so bold, are you feeling all right? I'm fine, Edmund. You look tired. Alex guiltily felt the dark circles under her eyes and repeated, I'm fine. What the hell is the hold-up now? The king bitched. The baby's here, the parents are here, the goddamn family shrink is here. As one, they all peeked through the foyer and waved to Dr. Pole, seated proudly in the 3rd row. The godmother's here. Can we please get this damned thing started? Please don't refer to my daughter's christening as a damned thing, David said mildly, hands in his pockets. Prince Alex is running a bit late, Edmund admitted. In fact, I expected him 10 minutes ago. Perhaps He's missing? Alex is gone? Your Highness, I'm sure it's a simple mix-up. Has anyone called him? Have you called his assistant? Did anyone look for him? Alex could hear her voice rising with hysteria, but it was like she was outside herself, watching, unable to stop. When was the last time someone saw him? The king was staring at her. Everyone was staring at her. Whoa, kid, simmer down. Simmer down, she nearly shrieked. One of us is gone, and I'm supposed to lie back and take it easy? What if he's been kidnapped? What if the bad guys are taking him away right now? Why isn't anyone doing something? From the other side of the chapel, Christina thrust the baby into her startled assistant's arms and darted across, passing the altar and the masses of red and yellow tulips decorating the sanctuary. "What's the matter? What's wrong?" "Alex is gone. Nobody can find him. He's right over here with me. He came in the wrong door, too, just about half a minute ago. See?" Christina yanked the princess over to the door and bellowed, "Alex!" After a second, the princess saw her younger brother, fourth in line to the throne, wave and hurry across, waving again to the patiently seated onlookers. "Don't have a cow, man. I might have overslept some, but everything's fine." "How long do we have to suffer the haikus?" Catherine demanded, "because he lost a bet. How many times do I have to tell you to cut that shit out?" Odd. Everyone was tipping away from her, and now she could see Christina's face, an oval of concern directly above her, but it was receding, pulling back. And why was it so dark in here? "I'm tired," Alex said automatically, before even opening her eyes. "I just need a nap." "Ha!" the king said. She opened her eyes and nearly yelled. All the Baranovs were crowded around her. Dr. Pole, the royal psychiatrist, physician, and all-around EMT, kept elbowing them back. The stethoscope had ruined the older woman's hairstyle. "You need a trank, among other things, and if you think that got you out of the ceremony, think again, missy." "Where am I?" "East parlor," Edmund replied. "First floor, east wing. It was the closest couch we could find, Your Highness." Alex started to prop herself up on her elbows, only to feel Dr. Pole grab an elbow and pull her back down. "How long since you've had a full night's sleep?" "Last night." "Liar," Christina said. She was cradling the baby and looking down at Alex, just as anxiously as the others. Only Dara seemed unmoved. She had nodded off on her mother's shoulder, a tiny thumb corked in her mouth. "It's been months." "It hasn't been that long," Alex protested. "Will someone let me up, please?" "After the doc gets done, and Jenny's bringing a tray. Maybe you can get up after you eat every bite." "She was worried sick," Prince Alex bragged, slicking back his already slicked-back hair with both hands. "Fainted like a teeny girl. What a big loser." "I was not. I was just wondering where you were." "You really did faint like a princess, I guess, if you read the fairy tales," Catherine added. "I did not faint. I lost my footing for a second, and the rest of you overreacted." "You passed out," Dr. Pole corrected, putting away her stethoscope, "due to a combination of fatigue, stress, and malnutrition. In fact, I'd say you're at least 10 pounds under your ideal weight. Why haven't you been eating?" "For the last time, I'm fine. Now take your hands off me." Dr. Pole let go of her like she was hot. "Girlie-o," her father said, his eyes slits of blue, and the usual smirk nowhere to be seen on his face. "Sick or not, you'd better apologize, or you'll be unconscious again." "I'm sorry, Dr. Pole," she muttered. "It's fine, Your Highness. I'm used to being screeched at by royalty. Oh, the things I could tell you if not for doctor-patient privilege." "Hey," Christina yelped. "Besides, we can discuss that, and other things, at your appointment." "What?" Alex cried, and nearly fell off the couch. Chapter 3. "Everything is really fine," Alexandria said, looking Dr. Pole straight in the eye, with as open and honest a gaze as had ever been on a face. "With all due respect, Your Highness, you're full of shit." "You sounded exactly like Princess Christina when you said that," she commented. "I must protest. How about a little respect for a member of the royal family? How about a little respect for me? Dr. Pole replied quietly. She was an attractive, pale woman in her early 60s, with the curly white hair of a cherub and the piercing intellect of a Nobel Prize winner, which she was. It's quite obvious you aren't sleeping well. It was obvious before yesterday's incident. At least we got the ceremony done. Thank God the press wasn't there anymore. Yes, that's exactly the thing we should be worrying about right now. You're a beautiful woman, Princess Alexandria, but you've got bags under your eyes the size of teacups. Partying, she suggested. The wild royal lifestyle. Nice try, but you weren't anywhere in that issue of People. Alex shrugged and looked around the large office. It's not a problem for me. It's just how things are now. I disagree. There is something I've been meaning to discuss with you. Dr. Pole raised white eyebrows. It might seem personal. Try me, Your Highness. I've been trying to figure out how to bring it up for months. Dr. Pole leaned forward. You're safe here, Princess. You can discuss anything with me. What's with all the ducks? There were pictures of mallards on the wall, wood duck statues, antique painted duck decoys, pinheads, spoonbills, and mergansers, 2 framed duck prints from America. I'm having waterfowl overload. Is it a special thing with you? Were you raised by mallards? Dr. Pole settled back, admirably masking her sigh. She ran a hand through her white curls, adjusted her glasses, and put her pencil down. You are changing the subject, Your Highness. Not surprising, given what happened yesterday, but not helpful either. Well, I can if I want. I can talk about anything in here I want. I'm safe, remember? You say that like you don't believe it. She looked away. Like I said, I can change the subject to whatever I want. She drummed her fingers on the arm of the chair, striving not to sound like a spoiled palace brat, and failing. Current events, waterfowl, the State of the Union, Prince William's upcoming marriage, which my dad actually thinks he'll be invited to, my niece, she's brilliant, you know. So you've said. Your Highness, she's already talking, and she's only 1. Yes, she's practically toilet training herself, and she's only 1. Isn't that amazing? Don't you think that's amazing? Fortunately, she won't ever have to worry about Devon. Alex felt herself tighten. That's a little obvious for a supposedly subtle analyst, isn't it? I suppose. And there's always a Devon, she said bitterly. Always. So, your niece isn't safe? Your brother? Your father? If someone turns up late, they've been kidnapped? Look, I overreacted yesterday, okay? Let's move on. You're not, Dr. Pole said quietly. Or we would. Besides, when has safety ever been a guarantee? For anyone, never mind someone in the public eye. Even for the good guys. My family didn't take this country from Russia by being nice. I'm sure felony assault was involved. So, this is how it's supposed to be? You're a closed-off wreck who can't sleep because people aren't nice? But my family's okay for now. If that's the trade-off, I'll take it. Princess Alexandria, it wasn't a deal. Dr. Pole was leaning forward, her gaze so compassionate, Alex had to look away again. In fact, it's not a trade-off. Why shouldn't your family be alive and well? All respect to your late mother, the Queen. And why shouldn't you have a happy and fulfilling life? Well, for one thing, if I did, you'd be out of business. Hardly, she muttered. Your sister-in-law keeps me on my toes. Then louder, how is the medication working for you? Fine. It's amazing, Dr. Pole said, amused. You look like a perfect angel when you lie. Thanks. but I think we should try to make some kind of progress.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?